This is my entire travel setup, and I know what you're thinking. And yep, I actually don't travel with a laptop. For the past months, I've been using my Mac Mini as my main computer even when I'm traveling between Taiwan and Korea. I know most people would just bring a laptop, but this setup actually works better for me. I saw so many comments asking for a breakdown of everything I bring to make this work. So here we are. Today I'm walking you through my full 2026 Mac Mini ecosystem. I'll show you the travel essentials I use when I'm on the move, plus the home-based setup I return to after a trip. So let's just dive into the details. This is what I bring whenever I travel. This Mac Mini case and the portable monitor. Let's see what I have inside. These are my travel essentials, exactly what I pack when I'm heading back to Taiwan. First up, and definitely the star of the show, my M4 Mac Mini. I went with 32 gigs of RAM and a 1TB SSD. It's so impressive how much power is packed into something this tiny. Then we have the cables. I've got the Mac Mini power cord and the USB-C cable for the monitor. I always keep an extra USB-C handy too, just in case I need to charge something else on the go. Let's move on to the peripherals. I'm using the Logitech MX Anywhere 3S and the MX Keys Mini. They're both super lightweight, and I love how clean and minimal they look. They're just perfect for traveling. What I love most about this mouse is definitely the infinite scroll. As a former Magic Trackpad user, I do miss those multi-touch gestures sometimes, but this scroll wheel gives you that same fluid feeling when you're flying through pages. I'll be honest though, I still miss the trackpad every now and then. There's just a certain freedom to that 360-degree scrolling that I've always enjoyed. So I'm still kind of thinking about picking up another one just for my home-based setup. Then we have the keyboard. I love the size of this thing, and it's super comfortable to type on. I'm not really a mechanical keyboard person, so this one just feels right to me. It's a little heavier than the Apple Magic Keyboard, but still totally manageable in a bag. I also make sure to bring this little low G-bolt receiver. This receiver connects both the mouse and keyboard. The connection feels way more solid. You don't get that lag you sometimes find with standard Bluetooth. And since I'm traveling back to Taiwan, I have to grab this plug adapter. Little pro tip, always double check the plug types before you travel so you don't get stuck without power. Now, let's talk about the one thing that was actually the hardest to figure out. The monitor. Honestly, when I first decided to travel with a Mac Mini, this was my biggest worry. At first, I thought about just buying a regular monitor to leave in Taiwan. But since I might be traveling to other places too, a portable option was definitely the better long-term solution. I ended up with the LG Gram Plus View 16. It's not the latest model, but considering the price and the quality, I honestly think it's a great deal. It might not be 4K, but for traveling, it's more than enough. And plus, just look at this. It's so incredibly light and thin. And the best part? It's a single cable setup. It only needs one USB-C cable to power up. That means no messing around with bulky power bricks or extra cords just to get it working. It also has ports on both sides, which is so convenient. It doesn't matter how your desk is laid out, it's always easy to plug in. I know it's a bit on the pricier side, but for me, it's been worth every penny. Whenever I'm on the move, I just slide this thin monitor into a regular laptop sleeve to keep it safe. And it's been super reliable. But of course, none of this gear matters if it's not safe while I'm traveling, right? So that's exactly where this case comes in. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to travel with a Mac Mini without this. It feels really solid. And I love that there's a dedicated spot for everything. The Mac Mini goes here, then the cables, the mouse, and the keyboard. Everything is so well designed and padded, so it just feels so safe to carry around. It even comes with a handle and a shoulder strap, but I usually just toss the whole thing into my carry-on. Now, you might be wondering if hauling all this around takes up too much space, but look, this is my 18.5-inch carry-on. And once I pop everything in, see? I still have tons of room for the rest of my stuff. I also get a ton of questions about the weight. Since I've got this little scale right here, let's actually weigh everything one by one so you can see the real numbers for yourself. First up, the M4 Mac Mini. It's 662 grams. That's so incredibly light, right? I just love it. But obviously, the weight starts to add up once you include everything else. When you put it all together, the Mac Mini in its case with every single cable and accessory, the total weight comes out to right around 3.1 kilos. I wanted to share these numbers for anyone curious about the actual heft of the kit. I know most people would probably just stick with a laptop, but for me, it's not really about saving weight. It's more about bringing my entire desktop workflow with me so I can work exactly the same way, no matter where I am. So this is my Mac Mini travel kit. I hope this was helpful for anyone curious about traveling with a Mac Mini. But once I'm back at my home base, the setup gets a nice little level up. I switch back over to my 32-inch LG 4K display. And honestly, it's such a huge difference. Having all that room to work with and that beautiful 4K detail makes my eyes so much happier. It just makes a full day of work so much more comfortable. I still keep the LG Gram View as a secondary display though. Sometimes I keep it horizontal for extra windows, and other times I'll flip it vertically, which is so handy for scrolling through long documents or just keeping an eye on my messages. It's actually fit into my daily life so well that I find myself reaching for it even when I'm not traveling. It's become such a huge part of my workflow that I don't even think of it as just travel gear anymore. To really round out the setup, I always hook up the Bose portable Bluetooth speaker. I don't know if it's just me, but the Mini's built-in speaker is, well, let's just say it's not the best. I definitely prefer having an external speaker for that fuller sound while I'm at my desk. So this is it, my little home office happy place. I just love how comfortable the whole setup is. I really feel like I've found that perfect balance where the consistency really makes all the difference. No matter where I am, my setup feels exactly the same. It's honestly been the best move for my workflow, and I hope this gave you some ideas for your own setup. I've linked everything down below if you want to check out the details. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.